else kind of fall away in that. I wish I could grab some people and turn their eyes on Jesus. I'm a bit of a news junkie. Some of you know that. NPR addict. And I wish that I could get some people in the news and grab them. Say, turn your eyes on Jesus. I wish I could grab some people that are making the news, like our congresspeople, other folk, and say, look, turn your eyes on Jesus. If you haven't figured this out, if some of you may be smarter than I am and don't listen to the news, I personally feel like sometimes Christians get a little bit inbred. We listen to Christian music, which I work for a Christian station, so I don't want to diss it too hard, My boss is here, I could, have problems with my job. Listen to Christian music and give a lot. There we go, that was for my boss. But we listen to Christian music, we hang out with our Christian friends, we go to church, and we have no clue where the rest of the world is thinking. And Jesus said that we're to be salt. So I listen to the music. And if you haven't figured this out, we're living in a lot of fear right now. There is a lot of fear out there, and probably inside this room. A lot of fear about what's going to happen. Where is everything heading? The world is ending as we know it, and what's going to happen next? I'm scared. We have people in this room that are unemployed, looking for jobs, worried about how they're going to make the next payment on the next utility, house, car, whatever it might be. The stuff it's out there. There's fear. And I wish we could turn our eyes a little bit easier on Jesus. Look full of His wonderful face. And the things of earth will grow strangely dim. I don't know about you, but there's things that scare me. You talked earlier about things that scare you. What were some of the things that scared you? Or times that you've been scared in your life? Anybody? Just
pitch black.
Pitch black. You're afraid of the dark.
I am afraid of the dark.
Kenny is afraid of the dark. Okay. Oh, that's just way too fun. Good to know. All right, yeah. When Mount St. Helens erupted and where you live just went black. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Hitting black ice on a freeway.
Hitting black ice on a freeway in the middle of the night. Seeing a trend starting to develop here. What? Snakes.
Teaching my spouse and my kid to drive.
Teaching your spouse and your kid to drive. Yeah. I hear you. I'm scared of my kids. Parents? Can I get a witness? I am scared of my kids because they live in a completely different reality than I do. They live in we are not on the same page. And I've got the range of them now. I've got the almost 4-month-old, the 3-year-old, the 11-year-old, and the 14-year-old. And I'm scared of every one of them. I'm scared of the almost 4-month-old because I never know when she's going to let me sleep. I'm like, anything you want, just sleep, baby, just sleep. I'm scared of the 3-year-old because if you met my 3-year-old, you know why I'm scared of that child. I was talking with Mike Agee yesterday because Mike and his family were some of the first people we met when we moved here. And we came to the realization as I was talking with Mike that Jocelyn, my little girl Jocelyn, is going to be my Daniel. And that's really scary to me, Daniel. And unfortunately, I know Daniel's going to try to help that. Daniel and I go way back. 13, 14 years old, were you when we moved here? You were 12. I started messing with your life when you were 12. One of the first times Daniel and I hung out together, we went to Winco. Perfected the art of the drive-by milking. That's Daniel inside, at 12 years old, inside the shopping cart. Me pushing past the milk at a fairly decent rate of speed, and him grabbing milk as we go by. We weren't kicked out, but I don't think they had video cameras. I'm scared of my children because we live in a different reality, and I'm scared of them because we have dry cereal. And they don't seal it back up when they're done. And this... You hear my wife, she said, let it go. I can't let it go, and I'll tell you why. It's because of this. I told you earlier, there are spiders in our house. And I'm scared of what's going to happen when I shake the cereal out. More than that, I'm afraid of this. Have you had stale cereal? I'm scared of that stuff. It's like individual pieces of texture with no flavor at all. Now, one of my children is afraid of me because Gabby and I share the affinity for Life cereal. Life cereal is really, really good. I think that it was created in heaven and sent down here. And I have threatened such threats that she now religiously takes the chip clip and seals that sucker back up because she's afraid of me, I think. Yes, thank you. Give my daughter children can't learn. Violence is not the answer, but threats of violence do work. I'm scared of stuff in my household. I'm scared of what might happen. I'm also scared of stuff like I've had other moments in my life where I've been really scared. I may have told this before. I don't remember. Sometimes I can't remember if I tell my stories or not. But when I was on the road, with the traveling ministry team I was with for 4 years called the Extreme Team, I got my CDL. And people with CDLs, raise your hand, be proud. Heavy machinery. Okay, there was 1. 2, okay. We had a semi, and we went off the road. I got married, we went off the road, and I was looking for a job, and I started working for this excavating company, driving a dump truck, and they didn't teach us. They didn't really do any training with the dump truck, which is fun. And one of my first jobs was this guy wanted to take the swimming pool out of his backyard. And I mean, when I mean taking the swimming pool out of his backyard, I mean literally just like no more swimming pool. Just rip the thing out. And instead of like getting a bobcat or something and, just kind of take it out, he hired this excavating company that only had really like creating a road level machinery type stuff, huge stuff, and so we had this big huge equipment, and we're totally ripping up his lawn, completely demolishing his lawn with bulldozers and stuff to rip out his swimming pool. And so I'm driving a dump truck, and you drive up, and they come and they put these big huge pieces of concrete that they ripped up from the pool into the back of the truck, and you drive to this place, and somebody said, yeah, you can dump it on my field or whatever, and they didn't do any training, so you get in, you have full vest, it covers the thing up, so nothing flies out and kills small children as you're driving down the road, and there's a little button that puts the axle up and down, and drive and then dump it and then pull out, and I'm trying to get this boring work, and you just back and forth, like 2-mile drive, back and forth. No, they didn't really train me, like I said, so I dumped and I pulled away, and when we were on the road, after Shell had started working for the ministry, and before we got married, she would often come on the road. Sometimes the kids would come with her to come visit, and as we were traveling, they'd drive behind the truck, so it's just follow the big truck in front of you, and that had happened a lot from the pickup truck and then into the semi, and so I'm driving along, driving this dump truck, and suddenly I look at my rear view mirror, and there's this 6-foot hunk of concrete that when I lowered the bed, it had hung out partway out the back gate, and I hadn't gone to the back and checked it.
Oh, no.
So it was just driving along, just hanging out with this big concrete, and then as I'm driving down the road, I looked at my rearview mirror, and it had vibrated, and it shifted up to the back, and it's doing somersaults down the road behind me. I'm looking at my rearview mirror, watching this thing just flip and spin and down the road. Fortunately, there was no traffic on the road, thank God. But I watched it, and I went, if my wife, that she always followed me, she was always behind me, and that would have killed my entire family, and I've only been married for a month.